We made it to the weekend. I don't know about you, but this has been the longest week ever. But hey, we got that new Barbie movie trailer, and obviously I'm super excited. I'm Stella Chung, and in today's gaming fix, we've got a ton to talk about. Resident Evil 4 Remake's much anticipated Mercenaries mode DLC sadly makes the game pay to win. Yes, you heard that right. PlayStation might be making a temperature-controlled controller. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga Collection sold a shell of a lot of copies, like what I did there. Monster Energy filed more trademark complaints for the word monster, and we're getting more Star Wars Jedi Survivor gameplay this weekend. We've got a ton to cover, so let's just get into it. If you're playing through Resident Evil 4, then you know the struggle of finding the balance on choosing to upgrade your guns or just buy new ones to try them out and then figure out what all you want to put your pesetas into. Well, don't worry. Now there's new DLC for the remake that lets you upgrade your weapons with real money. Along with the much anticipated Mercenaries DLC, players can now use real money to upgrade weapon-exclusive upgrade tickets, which can be redeemed with the merchant to unlock perks like increased damage, faster firing rate, and more ammo capacity. These upgrade tickets can be purchased by trading Spinel gems with the merchant, but for prices high enough that you'll likely only grab one ticket per playthrough. And that's on top of having to max out a weapon's other upgrades using all the pesetas you collected in-game. But with these new paid tickets, you can immediately get access to that trait and upgrade free of charge. Well, free of charge in-game, but not in real life because you have to use real money. But okay, whatever, you know what I mean. These totally fair and not at all scummy upgrade tickets can be bought in singles or bundles with a single ticket costing $2.99. Okay, this could not have come at a worse time. I literally just wrote a column piece praising remakes. And really, the Resident Evil 4 remake is such a good game, this really leaves a bad taste. I have no doubt plenty of players will shell out extra money to save time grinding, but Capcom patching in such a sleazy cash grab soured my enthusiasm for the game just a little bit. I'll still be playing though, but only for Leon. If you're at all worried Capcom needed to add those microtransactions because Resident Evil 4 Remake wasn't selling well, think again. The remake has sold over 4 million copies worldwide in the 2 weeks it's been released. According to Alex Anil, writer of Itchy Tasty, an unofficial history of Resident Evil 4 Remake is the second fastest selling Resident Evil in history, closely behind Resident Evil 6. Resident Evil 6 shipped 4.5 million copies at launch, but it didn't hit 5 million until 12 months later, which might have had something to do with its underwhelming reception from fans. In another tweet Anil posted, a comparison was shown on how long it took previous REs to hit 4 million units sold, and it took RE6 1 day, whereas Village took 3 weeks and Resident Evil 2 Remake took under 2 months. I was honestly surprised to see Resident Evil 3 Remake take 12 months to reach 4 million units sold. I really liked that game. I'd give it 5 stars. Capcom tweeted out the milestone and included the statement that they would continue to focus on growing sales of the title, including the release of the Mercenaries free downloadable content on April 7th. The Mercenaries is available now, letting players play as either Leon, Luis, Krauser, or Hunk in this wave-based defense challenge mode. This new mode may entice more players to join in on the Resident Evil 4 game purchases since numbers only seem to be growing and may actually overtake RE6's record pretty soon. And there are still rumors the classic Ada Wong-centric side story Separate Ways might get added in a future update. This is definitely the weirdest news I've had to deliver this week, but Sony just filed a patent for a controller that could change temperature. The temperature changes are supposed to be a result of player actions and gameplay, but that wasn't the only thing this patent described in this theoretical controller composition. This patent described concepts for controller features that would also add to the haptic experiences with the help of a soft, elastically deformable sensor component. So an example of this tech would be if a player deforms the controller by pressing, twisting, rubbing, or crushing it, the sensor would detect this. There was also the mention of the potential in using a combination of magnetic fluid and electric or magnetic fields to change the shape and hardness of the soft parts of this patented controller design. As for the temperature control apparatus, that would let the controller get hotter or colder depending on player input. Specifically, the wording reads, the temperature control apparatus may be controlled such that the larger the amount of deformation, the higher the temperature becomes. This allows the user to feel the temperature change corresponding to deformation. I thought the PlayStation's DualSense haptics were advanced enough as they are, but this would really increase the immersion level in games if implemented properly, or at least be a fun gimmick. Though, honestly, a hand warmer controller for cold days sounds really nice. There's something here, PlayStation. I hope you figure it out. Also, maybe this controller could even pair with your Google Home or Alexa and soon control the temperature in your entire house. Resident Evil 4 isn't the only game doing well in sales. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Cowabunga Collection, is also bringing in huge numbers. Konami announced today that the collection sold more than 1 million copies. The Cowabunga Collection has 13 games for the NES, SNES, Sega Genesis, Game Boy, and arcade, with a lot of them including online play. The online play isn't the best, unfortunately, but this collection allows players to experience games that now go for around $700 on arcade cabinets or $200 NES game cartridges all in one bundle. However, the 1 million sales number is pretty impressive considering the Cowabunga Collection focuses on retro games and isn't a fresh new remake like Resident Evil 4. But honestly, it goes to show that people have a love for older and original games as well, and reliving their childhoods is possible through these neatly wrapped bundles. And if you really want a new TMNT game done in the 16-bit style, Shredder's Revenge is great, and it's also on Game Pass. Konami also revealed some cute TMNT stats from the collection in a tweet that shows that 350 million foot soldiers were defeated, 6 million pizzas were eaten, 2 million of Shredder's plans were shredded, and the Turtles saved their friends 1 million times. These numbers might not mean a lot to some of you, but I love that game companies are showing these stats in neat infographics because it shows how many people alongside you are enjoying the game. IGN gave this score a 7, reviewed by Destin Legary, saying it's a treasure trove of the Turtle games, even though the online experience was barely functional, but it's still a great collection for fans. The Cowabunga Collection is available on the Switch, PS4, PS5, PC, and Xbox Series, so if you want to add to the sales numbers or pizza eating stats, check it out. Remember what I said about the PlayStation controller patent being the weirdest news I've had to deliver? I think this story tops that one. Monster Energy has filed trademark complaints against the Pokemon and Monster Hunter franchises over the word monster. Yes, you heard that right. These complaints were unsuccessful. Big shocker there, but apparently this wasn't the first time Monster Energy has tried to file official trademark complaints. The Japanese website Automaton revealed that over 100 trademark complaints were filed by the Monster Energy company over the usage of the word monster. Some of these filings were against Pokemon X and Y, Pokemon Sun and Moon, and Monster Hunter Cross, and the actual entirety of the Monster Hunter trademark. Of course, these complaints were all denied, but it hasn't stopped Monster from continuing to argue against them. Most recently, Monster Hunter just filed a complaint against Dark Deception: Monsters and Mortals, a multiplayer horror game over the use of monster in its title. Apparently, Monster Energy Company is no stranger to trademark complaints and really focuses on takedowns and lawsuits in video games since Monster has rooted itself in the gaming industry. The Japanese Patent Office, or the JPO, has consistently denied Monster's claims, so we don't expect to see any of these complaints be taken seriously, no matter how many times the claims have been filed. Companies that hold trademarks or copyrights are expected to defend them. It's not just done to be petty, but it's always so strange when companies try to trademark normal, everyday words. Do you remember when Bethesda went after Mojang's game Scrolls because it was too close to Elder Scrolls? That game had to be renamed Caller's Bane, but ironically, both companies are now owned by Microsoft. Then there was the time the Fine brothers, who popularized React content on YouTube, tried to trademark the word React, and it backfired horribly. Do you remember that? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Star Wars Celebration is going on right now in the UK, a huge event that covers everything in that galaxy far, far away. And there's a ton of news about upcoming movies and shows, and we're also getting some game updates. On Sunday, April 9th, Star Wars Jedi Survivor will be releasing a final gameplay trailer. Which is cool, though this game is out in 3 weeks, so I think I can wait till I just play it for myself. I'm so excited for Survivor, and not to flex, but I beat Star Wars Fallen Order on Jedi Grandmaster difficulty, the hardest available. I'll be doing that again for Jedi Survivor, and I am so ready for the pain. Jedi Survivor is launching later this month on April 28th, and it'll also be dropping as a massive download with a file size of 155 gigabytes. We've got a couple previews up on IGN detailing what's new in Respawn's sequel, and one nice thing is that Cal will have all of his abilities from the first game, so you won't have to unlearn what you have learned, and then learn it again. One of the biggest things that I'm excited about is that we will finally have fast travel between points, like Souls games, and we'll even have mounts. Just as a reminder, Jedi Survivor is only available on current-gen consoles like PC, Xbox Series, and PS5. I can't wait to go on more adventures with Cal and BD1. Will you be buying the Resident Evil 4 upgrade tickets? And would you want a temperature-changing controller? Let us know. Specifically, let me know if you buy the weapon upgrade tickets with real money in Resident Evil so I can shame you. Just kidding. Or am I? Anyways, now that you're all caught up on the news, check out our IGN First on Redfall showcasing the Rook fight. Then be sure to follow the Daily Fix on Snapchat, follow us on YouTube, and follow us on social media. Keep on gaming, and I'll see you next time.